How to sell your house in 7 days. Now, I'm not a real estate agent or a mortgage broker. I'm a local real estate investor and a regular guy just like you. But I offer real solutions to real problems in today's marketplace for selling your house. Now, I don't know the reason you're selling, or even if you are interested in selling, but in the days of the subprime meltdown, the bailout, and bank failures, it's gotten very, very difficult to sell a house. The buyer pool has just shrunk to near nothing. Banks are requiring 10 to 20% down payments, 2-year tax returns, debt-to-income ratios, and the list goes on and on and on. Basically, your buyer must walk on water. And even if they can walk on water today, maybe at the closing table, you're just getting ready for the deal to close, and the bank goes out of business, or they've changed their parameters, and now you either have to find a new buyer or a new lender or both. Typical ways to sell a house these days is your basic for sale by owner, where you run classified ads, you have open houses, you spend your weekends having open houses, you have people parading through your house, you have people that are just looky-loos coming to take a look and see what you have. You never really know if they're a serious buyer or not, and you still have the same parameters as can they qualify for a loan. You can also go to a real estate agent, have them do the open houses and run the ads, and pay them a commission, and you still have the same issues. Is your buyer going to close? You never know until the last day. But I do have solutions for you. Solution number one is I can pay cash for your property. I work with a group of private investors, and we actually buy houses for cash, and you can close on the day of your choice. So whether that's 3 days from now, a week from now, or 2 months from now, or whenever you want to close, that's fine with us. We don't charge any fees or commissions for this, so you walk away with straight cash. Now, what you have to ask yourself, if you want a cash offer from us when you fill out the registration form, is what is the rock bottom amount of money you'd take cash for this house if you could close on the day of your choice? There's no fees, no commissions. What is the least amount you'd take? Now, I'm going to take that number and present it to our group after I analyze your property and do the due diligence on it, and we're going to either give you a yes or a no. So please give us your rock bottom price, because we're really not interested in negotiating back and forth. Solution number two is the new buyer pool. Now, the new buyer pool is basically the old buyer pool of people that could qualify for a mortgage 1 to 2 years ago. These are people with good income and a down payment, but they have less than perfect credit, or they've just moved to the area, or they haven't had their job all that long, or a number of things, but they're good people with just need another chance. And one thing you can do with these type of people is you can offer them owner financing. And there's different types of owner financing, and each situation would be different. But even if you have no equity, that's no problem with if you offer owner financing, because you can structure it so they make your payments for you and you make them to the bank, and everything works just fine. Variation of that is you can use my temporary owner financing. Now, with the temporary owner financing, you do need equity in your property or some cash to come to the closing table. But in short, you would create a note with the buyer as a contract between you and them. They're guaranteeing that they're going to make X amount of payment to you each month. And then my group would come in and actually buy that note at the closing table. There's no seasoning requirements or anything like that. And you would be cashed out at closing. And you walk away with money in your pocket and your house sold. Now, I will go into more detail on that in other videos. And another solution is our rent-to-own program. You can actually rent-to-own your property, or a lease option, and you would have a tenant buyer, and they would move into your house and lease it to you from you for a term of 1 to 3 years before you got cashed out. During that time, they'd get their credit cleaned up, and they would show the bank that they've been making their payments on time, and they can get refinanced at that point, and it's a lot easier for them to qualify. Now, the advantages to using that is you get a better tenant buyer, because it's somebody that's put a lease option fee down and is making the payments on it, and so they want to be a homeowner, so they're going to take better care of your property, and they're going to make their payments on time, and they're going to be responsible for the repairs and the maintenance. Another advantage of that, of either of these two ways, is you get market value for your property. You can get a lot higher percentage because these people don't have anywhere else to turn, and they know they have to pay more for the house. Plus, you can get market rent, so you can get more for your property than if you were just to rent it out. Now, how do you get these buyers? Well, your options are you can find these buyers by yourself, but that's going to take longer than 7 days to implement. By the time you run ads in the paper, you figure out all the paperwork and that type of thing, it's going to take you longer than 7 days to do that. Or you can just use my extra buyers. Now, I'm always marketing for these types of buyers, because when I sell my houses, I either sell them rent to own, owner financing, temporary owner financing. So I'm always looking for these types of buyers. And so consequently, I have more buyers than I have houses. So simply, you would just plug right into my system and take one of my buyers. I use the latest technology to find these buyers. There's no cost to you because I get paid by the buyer, what's called an assignment fee, so it's all legal and above board. I use a 162-point checklist to pre-screen these buyers so that I know that they can make the payments, they can afford the house, they're not going to thrash your house, and all that type of thing. So I check them out for you. That way, you can just cherry pick the best buyers so that you get the best one for your property that fits you the best. If you're going to use any of my buyers, there's questions you need to ask yourself. How much do I owe on the property? You kind of need to figure out a ballpark. It doesn't have to be exact, but I'd like to know how much you owe on the property. And will you sell the property for what you owe? And if not, how much will you sell it for? What about monthly payments? Can you take monthly payments on it for a period of time? If so, how much is the least amount of monthly payment you can take? Now, in today's market, with interest rates jacking up on adjustables, sometimes the market rent isn't going to equal what your payment is. So you have to decide, can you subsidize that or not for a period of time before you get cashed out or not? Do you need cash today? Now, how much cash today do you need to walk away from the house, and how much cash can you get later, if any? Let me know why you need to sell, what's your motivation for it, and how soon do you need to sell, and are you open to creative solutions? I need to know that. Now, if you want full retail price for your house and a conventional buyer and be cashed out, I probably cannot help you. If you have your house listed with a real estate agent and you cannot get out of that contract, I probably can't help you either. But if you are flexible and you're open to real solutions for real problems, then I can help you. Now, I'm not asking you to make any decisions today. I simply need you to fill out the registration form below. Give me the best answers you can. Let me know what's going on and what your parameters are, and I'll get back to you with a custom solution, give you some options on what works best for you, and we can go from there. I'll explain everything in detail. I'll handle all the paperwork. I'll show you exactly what's going on so you won't have any questions. You'll know exactly ahead of time what we're going to do. And watch your inbox for more information, maybe more details on the program, and if you follow through, I can have your house sold by this time next week. Happy home. So